What makes a good card in MLB The Show 25? Well, there's a lot of things that can go into it. It could be pitch mix. It could be delivery, deceptiveness, differential on pitch speed. Are they just nasty? Do they have the nasty boy stuff? Are they good? Can they hit for power? Can they hit for contact? Are they speed demons with sneaky swings? Well, today we're going to try to talk about what makes a card good and makes it God Squad eligible, maybe for you, or at least something that kind of should stick in your head a little bit more. But ultimately, it is your choice. It is your cards. I'm just here to sort of throw my opinion in there because that's what I get to do. So if you like stuff like this, leave a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Let's jump into it and break down what makes a God Squad. So first things foremost, here is kind of the current God Squad right now. It's probably going to change a little bit. There's still some stuff I need to do on the back end, and there's some cards that we haven't gotten yet that I haven't done because I got a lot of stuff going on. Now, I want to start by reiterating, I want to start with this. If you feel comfortable with the swing and you hit and mash with that, use it. Simple as that. You really like a card? Go absolutely crazy. Go nuts with it. Don't let me or anybody else do it. If you like a swing, use it. Now, today we're going to talk about what I think makes a good card. We'll start with sort of an offensive standpoint, going from each possible position to bench rolls and stuff like that. I know plenty of people talked about it, but I'm sort of just throwing my opinion in there only because I play probably more proactively and closer to a normal person with a job and stuff versus maybe somebody else who makes content on it, where it's like, I'm playing other games. I'm trying to beat Persona. I want to play Expedition 33. I want to play ReFantazio. I got other games I want to play. And this is sort of me trying to show you other stuff, like show you how to be proactive and try to get the best stuff we can and make a good team without showing or opening the wallet. So we're just going to go around the horn. I'm going to show you some of the good stuff and what makes that card good and what I look for personally for it. So let's just get started. Let's go around the horn. Let's start at first base. First base. Right now I have this Luis Arias card. I've always liked Luis Arias to swing. Whenever he gets supercharged, I'm generally hitting taters with him. This is probably one of the more juiced Luis Arias cards we've seen. The 182 will play very, very well. The 92-79 will also play really well. The clutch is good. It'll bump it up so he could be top of the order like a number 2 hitter and honestly do pretty well. That's probably where he would be if I didn't have somebody necessarily else there. Now, when it comes to first baseman as a whole, this is generally a spot where I'm going to try to get as much pop potential as I possibly can. One card that's good there that is free is Pete Alonso. He's got the power I'm looking for, like the 90-103. The clutch will help the contact get up to 101. So he'll be 101-103, or 101-103 lefty, 101-95 right, which is really, really good. Looking at some of the other guys on the bench, this new card, his Wilmer Flores, also I think kind of fits it to a degree. Not as much power as I necessarily want out of the position, but balanced hitter enough. He got 3 home runs in a grand slam, so this fits that bill to a certain degree. And he's both these cards are free to play cards. The cards I'm going to highlight are all free to play. So they all he fits the bill a little bit different. You see the pluses here. It depends on what you want. Do you want a little bit more speed? He's a little bit better of a fielder. It kind of just depends on what you're doing here. If we're talking raw power, the definite boost beast here would be Prince Fielder, also free to play, doing the old Diamond Quest. Has a little more traditional pop, beats the snot out of righties on the power side, a little bit better arm strength, but again, depends on what you look for, fielding and stuff, sort of doing the comparison shopping. Then there's this collection, Carlos Delgado, plus 100 power on both sides of the plate, a little bit better against lefties and righties, reverse splits. His clutch, I don't see offhand. His clutch is 90, so it will help on the right-hand side, a little hurt on lefties. Again, reverse splits, are you going to see a lot of lefties? It's definitely possible. But in terms of like the free-to-play first baseman, and I think most of the first basemen, because there were no first baseman color rush or color storm, these 3 guys are probably where I would lead, or 4, including Arias. Pick whichever one you feel comfortable. If you like Delgado swing, by all means, use Delgado. Truthfully, in terms of just maybe altruisticness and sort of what you're looking at for like your best pure hitter, he might be the guy. And then pair him up with somebody like Rhys Hoskins, who could bump it up a little bit. Oh, maybe not, but like you can find a right-handed bat if you really need it. So ultimately, in terms of swing, whoever you like, if you're like me and you really like Luis Arias, dude, Luis Arias is and Swagantastic. Or you could use Delgado. Probably also a very good choice. But I look for, again, mainly power. Second base is where things kind of get fascinating. I'm using Kyron Paris, one, because I'm a disgusting Angel homer, and go Angels, I will use them till the day I die. Same thing, but mind you, I love Bobby Grish's swing. Bobby Grish is one of my favorite cards when he first came out. This guy's a little bit more balanced. I tried to build up the middle. I made a video on it before this game came out about building up the middle. So I look a little bit more defensively here, but his bat is pretty good to where I'm kind of like going to the right. So towards first base, I'm a little bit okay letting those get through to a certain degree for a better bat and a little bit more speed. To the left, it's a little bit wonkier, but we make do. But his bat, I think, makes up for it. The balance in the clutch will definitely help to be like a 6 something. It's maybe a 2-6 hitter. Some other guys here, if we want to sort of look, Brian Roberts is also interesting. I like Robert's swing has always been a fascinating one for me. If you want a little bit more the offensive side, I kind of wanted my guys to be a little bit more defensive, especially up the middle. But if you want a bit better of an offensive card, he's very good. Defensively, he'll do okay for you for the most part. So, but again, it kind of depends on how you want to build it. If you want a little bit more power, go nuts. This is perfectly valid. Whit Merrifield's also, I think, pretty valid still. He's a 90 overall card. He's got mass contact, which is a little bit more of a contact guy. Definitely has a little bit. I think he's a little bit faster too. He's got decent speed. The clutch isn't necessarily there. But again, we're talking about sort of like what can you kind of work with. He's not bad. And mind you, he can play other positions. So if you have to rotate and move around, you got a guy who can play the outfield and first base. That's pretty valuable. You can even use him on the bench. Same thing with Brandon Donovan. If you kind of want to go to these super utility guys, he's also there. His swing's okay. I think this card got a little bit dirty. The contact's a little bit lower. Power's a little bit low for me. And the defense kind of makes up for it. But it sort of depends on what you want. We're talking at the middle for sure. Hell, even Jazz can kind of fit this build, but he's a little bit on the lesser side. But like I said, I think the big two is maybe these two and Kyron, depending on how you want to build. But I don't think Harris is the way to go. Like sneaky, you could also sneakily maybe throw in Ozzy Albies because his swing's pretty good as well. Shortstop. I think this is the first position where I think everything kind of has to flow together. Meaning, Bobby Witt, I wish had more power. I think he deserves it. However, the defense and speed make up for it because this guy is a vacuum cleaner. I just wish he had more spunk, more power, a little more oomph, but not all of them can't be winners. But this card is absolutely gross. And in terms of other shortstops, I don't think any one of them necessarily matches him in every capacity. I mean, Honus Wagner's got more power than him, but Honus Wagner's going to recycle the fielding. He's good. He's a collection reward. This free Ellie, again, you're kind of sacrificing some stuff. But again, more power. So it depends on where you want the power to come from. Ozzie Smith's pure defense, probably very similar. I would say Bobby Witt's your best bet. If you kind of, I mean, J.P. Crawford's not bad either. He's going to bring the bat with you a little bit. Adames, who is free, brings a better bat a little bit. The defense is capable. But I think it's Bobby Witt and then kind of like something like this. Realistically, the shortstops market's very dull, and even in terms of live series, maybe Lindor would be your accurate one if you have him, but I would say it's Bobby Witt, and then the best substitute is Honus Wagner. I know it's a little bit more of an expensive thing, but he could do it. If you want to go secondary, I don't even know. I mean, maybe Crawford would be your best bet. Just go with a little bit more oomph because you can get him for free. Maybe that's the best way to go, but we'll see. Third base is kind of a weird one for me. I'm using Chris Bryant because I like his swing. I don't in no way necessarily think he's the best. Honestly, Bregman would probably be my better one. His swing's pretty good as well. McMahon isn't bad either for more of a power thing. Third base is kind of like first base. I want a little bit more power out of the position. I want better bats. I want stronger bats. So looking at kind of like balancing here, and these two are kind of similar. McMahon might be a little bit better, but I like Chris Bryant's swing a little bit more. Heck, argumentatively looking further down this list, we're kind of see the fielding leans more McMahon than Bryant. So if you want to get McMahon because you did the Easter egg, by all means do it. Josh Young, I say, would be a platoon bat. I don't necessarily know who you would platoon him with. Maybe if you got Troy Gloss, you platoon these two. A lefty comes in, bam, we switch or something because he's way better and he fits righties a little bit better. You kind of do it. Or you could use McMahon. I might just say McMahon and Josh for your platoon. But again, who knows? It all depends. Like I said, if you're looking for the more power, you could do these two and probably be fine. Heck, even this Josh H. Smith, pretty dang good. It's just we haven't gotten a lot of really good third basemen. Now we did with the Color Storm. I would say Mark Vientos is a guy there. Austin Riley's a guy you could play there. Royce Lewis. They opened it up a lot. But again, pick the swing you like. If you Mike Vientos, disgusting. Austin Riley, disgusting. Okay, let's switch over. Let's finish up the infield. Catcher's an interesting one because I think you can go immensely positions. Ted Simmons just has a very good swing. This Yasmani, also very, very, very good. He's slower than a horse with 13 speed. But if he gets a hold one, it's going to go a long way. This free Moises Ballestarios, pretty good as well. Has a little bit more pop. Speed's a little bit better. He's also pretty good. Mike Napoli's still probably one of the best hitting catchers in this game. Good, decent fielding. Speed's a little bit lackluster, but he's pretty good. Joey Bart's also tolerable against lefties. There's a lot of positional thing here, but I would say the top catcher as of now would probably be Yasmani, followed by Ted Simmons. If you want to go that route, I think my game just froze. That's fantastic. 2 seconds, please. All right, we are back. So let's talk about DH. DH, I think, is another power first position, but again, fill it with whatever you want. I go with the flow. Some guys who I think don't necessarily have good fielding, but can absolutely murder the F in baseball. So guys with low fielding. Prince fielders, kind of like your Prince fielder types are always ones that come to mind with the kind of low fielding that can fit the build. Don Baylor's another one who fits the bill. It kind of just depends on guys who don't necessarily have a spot on the field, but have a giant stick. Jesse Winker is kind of another one that I would say fits this build. Kind of what you want there. Again, it's sort of just, I consider it like, let's fill the whole situation. What am I lacking on? Am I lacking on power? Bam. Let's put a little bit more oomph behind the sticks. Is it lefty power, righty power? I usually pick one that has even a switch hitter. You kind of just go and fill. But again, use whatever swings you want. Left field, I consider this to be also sort of let's fix what weaknesses we have. Right now it's Dominguez because he's pretty balanced. Again, it would depend on what you're feeling. If you want a little bit more defense, we need a little bit better bat. I kind of just go with the field. This is sort of like a touch and field position. Even sometimes you can go with the center fielder over there. Again, touch and feel, kind of how you think about it. Again, I kind of sort of look for, I would like a little bit more oomph, but I'm a little bit better with the balance here and stuff. It's left field. You can kind of hide somebody out there, but I don't want like abysmal stats, but I want something that feels a little bit more cohesive to this. Center field. Center field, again, it's sort of, again, the up the middle strategy. You kind of want guys that can field, have good arms. This free Adolis Garcia fits that build for me. Again, I'm more willing to pull back on the bat a little bit to make this happen. He's got 99 fielding, 99 arm. If you want to pull back on the bat, I cannot. I think he's on my bench. This Jose Siri, again, another really good one with terms of that in mind, a little bit more power. My prime example of me willing to give this up is I absolutely love this FNPCA card. His back ends are 99s. He's going to run everything down. His bat is okay, but he's got a sweet swing. I love him. So I use that as my prime example of like guys I want to use. Adolis is great. This Ken Griffey's great. But again, Phil, who you kind of want to use, if however that is. I think Adolis is probably the best one as of now. I can't think of any from the new one that fit it, but there probably are some good ones, but find one you like. Again, I like the fielding to be a little bit better. So I'm rocking with Adolis Garcia. Right field, I kind of want more pop. This Corbin Carroll sort of fits that bill for me to a certain degree until we get a little bit more power, guys. He's a guy I kind of like. Good speed, decent arm out there. He can run things down pretty good. This live series also does well. I know a lot of people probably put Judge there. I would say I would agree with that if I had him. He's on par. He's one of the best cards in this game regardless. He could be up there for sure. If you're looking at some other free options, Kyle Stowers is pretty effing good. He kind of fits that build as well. Clemente, if you want a little bit, you want to go sneaky a little bit, that his fielding's adequate. Yelich is dog shit. These two I think are okay if you need them in a pinch, but again, I would just say Corbin Carroll because he's free is always good, and so is Roberto Clemente. In terms of the rotation, I try not to necessarily just think sinker cutter. Logan Webb is a sinker cutter guy, but I try not to think that necessarily first. I just kind of like him. I think he does well enough. May throw again sinker cutter guy, but I have to preface this. I like the changeup as well. Then it makes it a 3-pitch combo to tunnel. Four seam to sort of offset him is the way I kind of go. That's why I kind of like this Johnny Cueto sinker cutter, circle change, 4-seam slider. I think that's a really good mix. If you want to, and then Kirk Gibson doesn't necessarily have it, but he has a sinker 4-seam, which I think works pretty well. Hunter is just here because I want to try something fun. Sort of looking in here, I think there's a little bit more variety. Satchel Paige, Josh Donaldson, who I just don't have because I'm lazy, are pretty good. Paige, if you don't think your guy can handle velocity, which a lot of people can't, is also pretty good. I think I'm recording this on Monday. It wouldn't shock me if Scooball gets supercharged. He's going to be disgusting. This Micah Bell's pretty damn good. Throws hard. He struck out a ton of guys, so his K per 9s should be higher than it is. It's pretty good. He's sneaky, but he doesn't have the gutter combo. But changeup's pretty good. In terms of pen, I just sort of go with Funk. Homie Miller's here for that reason. I could probably swab some guys out. Like I could throw Hater in here. Raleigh. Is Raleigh worth? You could kind of just guys who you like. Kopech could probably go for Mason at this point. I got lucky and pulled Loizaga, so he's there, and then my closer right now is Ottavino. But again, I just sort of pick a couple lefties. I could go another lefty if I really, really wanted to. I just don't see any that strike me. But if you want to go 3 lefties, it's fine. And then just sort of pick guys you think are good with, like, Homie's funky. Same thing with Ottavino. He's got 5 pitches. He's good. Same thing with, like, Luke Weaver. It's just 5 pitches that are also good. Chapman throws absolutely hard. And then Loizaga, again, 5 pitches. That's kind of how I build it. Again, build it kind of your way. And there's also more relievers that are coming out of the color program as well. And same thing with starters. Like, there's some really sneaky guys. I made a video last time on that. So go watch that. But that's just the basis of it. Here it's just arms that I think I pitch really well with. Some guys, I prefer more than 3 pitches. But again, when it comes to like some of this, you sort of like situational thinking. So like if some guys only throw 3 or 4 pitches, it's perfectly fine. Don't necessarily worry about it. Again, I would just say like have a couple guys that could kind of maximize it in case you need it. So that's how I build my team. So hopefully it added a little bit of insight for how a poor free-to-play player does it. If you have any questions or like any team builds you like, let me know down below. We are a community. We share information. We share info. We share analytics and all that stuff. So leave a like if you like it, dislike if you dislike it. My name is Specs. I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye, guys.